First of all, we all must make friends. From there, they will tell you your problem. Even millionaires have problems.
Oh, sekarang punya zaman ni tak boleh cakap keluarga. Semua berpisah. Pasal kita tak susah senang kita nak usaha. Tahu tak? Makan minum pun kita nak usaha, kita tak boleh harapkan saudara minta duit kiri kanan. Walaupun anak pun kita tak boleh harapkan anak juga. Kita sebagai mak, saya sebagai seorang wanita, kita berusaha, kita tak boleh cakap kita susah. Alhamdulillah, syukur Alhamdulillah sihat, dapat makanan ini. Lagi Alhamdulillah.
孙东山的孙啊，孙雅珍，他们叫我孙雅珍。我跟我哥哥住，我哥哥死掉了。有人不好，那楼下的人不好的，他要讲我坏话，我要怎么讲
？Each of them have different problem. Each of them have different way of life. Correct? Today he be okay, tomorrow he drop, then you try to help him again, and then he drop again. So life is something that uncertain. Even no matter how you do it, you still got a lot of things to do.
I've not actually gone out to see who's on the receiving end, except for an occasional trip to Francis or Tony, where we see, and then you do see that there are still lots of poor people who have problem finding a meal. So I feel that what we are doing is helping is helping the poor. People may think that we Singaporeans are rich, but I don't think so. There's about, to me, about 20-odd% who are still on the poverty line and we have problem finding food on the table, right? So I think that makes me feel that what I'm doing is meaningful, is helpful. Yeah.
Willingham started in 2003 by giving bread, and then we started with 1 packet of rice, and today is 4,005. Because I was a poor man, and I know that we need, the most important thing is food. So we start at 5:30 in the morning, we start cooking, we pack rice up to about 11-12 o'clock. Then a few volunteers will go down to the Pasir Panjang to collect vegetables, some will collect like meat and all these things. By the time we feed and ingredients, and by the time we come back here about 4-5 o'clock.
My daughter one day said, have you heard of Tony Tay? You know, a person who has started a place called Willing Hearts. So that set me thinking. She said, Mom, you've got time on your hands, so why don't you just go and volunteer?
I just wanted to give something back to Singapore because as an expat I've had a great time here, but I noticed going out that I could see there are people that were struggling, so I just wanted to give something back to the community. So that's why I chose Willing Hearts.
Kalau dia boleh tolong, dia tolong. Tak boleh tolong, apa nak buat? Kita terserah pada diri kita. Rasa-rasa cik dulu kerja, kita usaha diri kita tahu nak usaha. Cik kerja dulu kerja pagi petang. Itu duit yang kita dapat bulan-bulan tu, usaha diri kita, gigih diri kita untuk dapat. Siapa tak tahu macam mana boleh. Alhamdulillah lah dapat duit CPF pencen ni bulan-bulan dapat lah. Nak minta yang lebih pada itu pun susah.
The government has done their part. We do our part as citizens. Serve, even a smile is very good enough. Serve any organization you got, you can. Help where you can. If everyone just do one part, or everyone give one pack of rice to your neighbor who need it, so we do not need to do anymore. So all is done by individual.
I think to a certain extent, they have done what they have done. Like lately, the Pioneer Package is one great step, towards helping the poorer class of society in Singapore. But I think we also need volunteers and people to come forward in society.
So I've read videos that have been posted on YouTube from like about 2008. And already they were crying out for help then, saying, look, we need to help these people. They're not getting enough money. They're desperate. And we are in 2014. Nothing's changed. And in fact, the numbers are growing.
I mean, it's true that the Bible says that it's better to help a person to fish than to give fish on the table. But if you look at those who are even housebound and can't even come down to receive the food and all that, they've got no choice but to give it to them. So there are other areas where maybe perhaps people will help them to learn how to fend for themselves and all that. So by and large, the people that we are feeding are those that in this category that really needs a meal for them. Yeah. Sometimes you do see that they even try to portion half and then leave half for their dinner, So that tells you something, right? That they really need food, Yeah.
It just touches your heart when you see these people, because you see that for some of them it's their only meal they're going to get for the day. I'm fortunate, but these people are really struggling, and they need our support. And they're so happy to see you. When I first saw them, it was quite emotional, because it really gets to you. And you do want to cry. You do want to cry, because it's so sad to see somebody actually having to queue up to get their food. They should be able to go to the supermarket and buy it, but they can't afford it. So it really touches your heart.
Well, it was one trip going with going with Tony. Going with Tony to those poor that were sitting around in the void deck, not knowing what to do. It was in the poorer part of behind Lavender Street. And to see them, their eyes lighted up to see that, food is coming and all that, I think that makes quite an impact in my life.
Ya, memang. Alhamdulillah memang beban. Ringan. Kadang-kadang rumah. Sekarang kita kan, time kita, walaupun kita bajet, kadang kita terkurang kan. Kita paksalah.
一点感动的有时候他给买多我们有感动一点点啦。讲了也不会讲了，拿我就拿，没有拿的不要了，这样啊，没说啊，没有拿不可以，不是这样的啦。小孩子最小的儿子死掉了，不要再讲了，哥哥要死，小孩子要死了。
What made people become a nun, a priest, a imam? You wouldn't know. You just follow the flow. Smile and do.
You don't have to love by sort of like caring and all that. But in the end stage, just being there for them is a great help, you know. Because when you are about to die, you fear being alone. If they have a little bit of a bond with you and you're closer enough, you just touch them. If not, it's just sitting there and being there for them, and that is comfort itself, and that is love. Yeah.
Now, a place where we are lonely, a place where we want to make some friends, instead of staying at home and just waste our time.
We serve, we care, and we love. Because it's just something that's a feeling that's within your heart. You don't need to actually meet somebody to actually love them. You need to do something to be able to love that person. You have to give. You must always give.